get started. Okay, so my name is Robin Sullivan. I'm a very blessed diamond senior gold ambassador with Plexus. And tonight we are excited to share with you some really great testimonies about mom life. I don't know about you guys, but it's been an interesting 4 months. I never thought that in February it would be like my last date night with my husband, like out for real. I never thought that I would become a homeschool mom. I would become a janitor, a custodian, a counselor, a cafeteria worker, a principal, an assistant principal. And it's funny because I literally used to be an assistant principal. So I knew about all the hats that you wear running like a full-fledged campus. And I feel like that's what my home has turned into, like a campus. And I'm wearing all the hats. And so many of us just got started with Plexus and we're like, wow, if I did not have Plexus before this pandemic hit, I don't know what would be going on right now. I would probably be in the loony bin somewhere. And some of us, like me, I've been on Plexus for almost 7 years. And so I'm just glad that I have a seriously strong immune system and that my kids have strong immune systems and that I have some sort of like mental balance in place, because it has been pretty trying, trying to wear all of these hats in 24/7 mom life. So we'll have just 3 testimonies that we want to share tonight, and then I'll briefly go over some of the products that have been most beneficial to these ladies, and then we will let you guys go. And obviously, if you have questions, please just put them in the chat and we will answer as we go, okay? So without further ado, I want to introduce one of our newest Sapphire ambassadors. She is a full-time dentist. She has her own dental practice out of Houston, Texas, and she just started Plexus almost 10, 11 months ago, right, Adrienne? And I want to introduce you to her tonight. Her name is Dr. Adrienne Williams. So take it away, my dear.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Robin. Yes, can you believe it? It's actually almost my Plexiversary. I got an email because I joined at the end of this month. So I didn't officially start until August, but wow, what a year. Amazing year it's been. Hi, everyone. Like Robin said, I'm Dr. Adrienne Williams, and I'm a practicing dentist here in Houston. And my mom life, as a working mother, I was always struggling to deal with the mom guilt, honestly, as a working mom. And I wanted to be at the school all the time. And so I was always trying to adjust my schedule, but still, manage to make an income and be there for my patients and just balance it all. It was a big balancing act for me. I felt like I was always like juggling 10 things at a time. So when the products came on board, it was a very stressful time for me, and it was starting to show up in my body, and it had for many years. And with the products giving me that reset for my body with the triplex and dealing with the gut, I was no longer going to specialist visit, appointments. I was feeling the guilt, like, well, if I can take off time for this, I didn't really have time to take off because I own my own business, and it's an entrepreneur. There's no paid time off. I was going to doctor visits or I was not feeling good I wasn't making practices and things like that. So I'm like, I want to be there for my kid. I don't want to be sick all the time. And I want to be in a good mood and in a good place, So then the products just changed everything. I've had so much more energy. I could do more. I could be there. I wasn't struggling with the guilt as much because, that gut brain axis was not that I didn't, want to be there for him, but, it just wasn't weighing on me so much mentally. And I just wasn't so stressed about it, thinking clearer, and I can make clearer plans and have time, dedicated for things. So just thinking more clearly, being more present and not forgetting, not so forgetful. That's been incredible. But for him, he was struggling with a lot. I have a 9-year-old son, and he was struggling with a lot of the things that I have dealt with for my whole life. That is allergies. Like, I was born just that kid. I was taking tissue boxes to school. My mom was always sending multiple. I had tissues in my backpack. I was always having allergies, runny nose, sneezing, and my mom would send me to school. So that's what I did for him. The mom guilt too. And it's like, okay, I'm gonna dope him up. I'm gonna give him all this stuff. We were on allergy medicines. we were going to the doctors. And so it was just a pattern. And I found myself repeating, and I'm thinking, gosh, we're 30 years later and we're still doing the same thing. Something's got to give. So in come the products. But right before then, when I knew I needed a reset, was I had been through several years of allergy shots. And for to, you know, desensitize my immune system because it was going haywire. I had a sinus surgery to decrease the inflammation in my nasal cavity. I didn't want that for him. But we were both, I had the surgery in December, but we were both at the allergist in January getting breathing treatments for sinus infections. Because we just had so much mucus and so much inflammation in our sinuses. So I needed shots again. He got tested. He needed shots as well. And we had been just delaying the shots, really. I wanted him to get a little bit older. I knew what I went through. And it's hard on them. And the cost, honestly, the cost. So the copays, when you have certain insurances and high deductibles, copays for these kind of things, this is pretty elective. So off the charts, and we both needed it. And I didn't do it because I was trying to pay that deductible down at the time. So we just kept with the nasal sprays. I was, I was incorporating things, doing the best I could on my end for the natural and homeopathic remedies. But for him, it was important for me, especially for him, to deal with his allergies and congestion, because I knew that's something in dentistry that's very key, that they can breathe through their nose and that they're not mouth breathers. Mouth breathers will, their palates and their jaws develop in a way that's constrictive, and you don't get that back. There's this suture closes around in their teenage years and you don't get it back. So if they are mouth breathers, their palate develops in a unhealthy fashion, and they'll constantly be mouth breathers, and they'll have constricted airway, which leads to sleep apnea and obstructive airway disease, which leads to it's linked to heart attack and early death. So we're catching it early, and I'm talking to my patients. I talked to them about going to the ENT, and I was doing all those things, getting the adenoids out, but we were still suffering with the allergies, and you got to deal with that as well. So I was very proactive on that. But in comes Plexus, and my allergies were so much better. And his allergies are so much better. He's not breathing through his mouth anymore. He's, on occasion, I'll give him something, but it's like here and there. And I know I just need to deal with his diet a little bit more. I'm much more structured with mine, but he's a kid and I'm not with him all the time. So I know we just have to get there. So unfortunately, things have kind of tipped the other way because I'm dealing with, we're being in the house, and I don't, you don't want to deprive them. Poor thing. We were supposed to go to Disney and COVID happened, and we were going for spring break, and we actually had an opportunity to go. But I was like, we're good, but I don't know if we're that good. So we bypassed that trip. So hopefully we can get back out there, but he's a joy and he's happier, he's healthier. And I feel so much better that I feel like I'm doing what I need to do to get him right, and for him not to go down this same path that because they're sicker than us, I didn't experience a lot of what he had eczema and things like that, but I feel like we pumped the brakes on a lot of the problems, the chronic issues that I could see, popping up, and that I didn't want it to get worse. And I feel like that this has been that life changer and that reset for me and for him and my whole family. So I love it. And I encourage everyone to ask questions and get on board like yesterday. So thanks, Robin.
Awesome. Thank you, Adrienne. Real quick, do you mind telling us what your son is on and telling us what you take?
Oh, yes. So I take Triplex, which is Slim, ProBio 5, BioCleanse. I do the microbiome activating, and I didn't need to lose weight. I haven't lost weight. So if anyone is concerned about taking Slim and losing weight, it balances your body. So if you need to, I know lots of people who do lose weight, but I have not. I take the X Factor Plus. I also take Ease because I do have muscle and joint pain from work. I take the Vital Biome, that's for the mood and stress. And you're gonna go through the product. Sorry, just get on.
No, you're good. I'm not gonna do it. No, you're good. I'm not doing all that.
Okay, and and I take Mega X. And so the pack that I got initially, Rhea told me, she's my good friend, and she told me, hey, get the larger pack. You have lots of products and it has the kids. So I knew I wanted something for him. I was super excited to see that the kids' vitamins at the time, they only had the vitamin and probiotic, the chewable, and it was sweetened with xylitol, which is, as dentists know, it's a cavity fighter. So I was excited about that, to see that. And now I did give him ProBio 5 because he was irregular. I wanted to make sure he was getting cleaned out. Like I said, he had a lot of inflammation and just gunk. So I gave him one ProBio 5, one Bio Cleanse. I was giving him a small amount of the pink drink and the two of the chewables. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
So
you were giving him the two chewables and one ProBio 5, correct?
I was.
Yeah, I did too. That's what I do with my kiddos.
Yes.
And it works wonders. So
It
thank
does.
you for sharing that. Thank you so much, Adrienne. That's awesome.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, so we're gonna turn it right over to my good girlfriend and Emerald Ambassador, Marquita McInnes.
Hey y'all. So thriving moms. Okay, so I'm gonna do this list for y'all right quick. So when you think about being a mother, I want you to think about these things and how many of these things kind of resonate with you. Taxi driver, teacher, referee, doctor, chef, counselor, hostess, firefighter, maid, and then on top of that, most of us have full-time jobs, and most of us are wives or have a significant other. Wow. I think when it comes to being a mom, I think we forget just how many hats that we really wear, but we do a lot. And we are probably the least cared for in our households. And I think if you think about that, you'll be honest with yourself. You probably put yourself last all of the time. Listen, when I first got into motherhood, my first child had challenges, and I was not prepared for that. And to be quite honest with you, I thought I saw my mom work and have kids, and I mean, she looked fine. She was mean, but other than that, she looked fine, right? And so I didn't think it was gonna be the way it really was. Y'all, being a mom is exhausting. It's very stressful, and it takes a lot when you're trying to be intentionally well at it. And then when you have all those other hats, and all those other balls in the air, it's a lot. So I can tell you that before Plexus, I was exhausted. I was not as present as I am now. I was tired, full of brain fog. I was not a very happy camper. So I may have been parenting, right? I may have been being a mom, but I wasn't loving at it. I would snap a lot. I was very short-tempered. And as soon as those kids laid down, I was running for the sugar. I was like shoving my face with Oreos and cookies and ice cream, whatever I can get, right? And so if your vice is a glass of wine, whatever it is, it was like I was doing all the things so I could do all the things. Then walks in Plexus. Oh my gosh. I realized that not everyone decides to tackle a full-time job. I am an executive at a Fortune 500 company, and in 1 week, on July the 17th, I will have 25 years in that. And I'm very proud of that. I didn't want to quit my job once I became a mother, but at the same time, it became a lot, all right? So once I started Plexus, I realized that juggling the balls of being a wife, being a full-time employee, and in this pandemic environment, y'all, like, work has really escalated, okay? It's like, it may have been 40 hours a week. Now it's like 50 to 60 hours a week because we're home and they want more, right? And my 3 kids, I have a 19-year-old, a 15-year-old, and a 13-year-old, 2 boys and a girl. They are very, very, very active. So in walks Plexus, and I instantly feel the difference of the products. I started to have more energy. I started to rest better. I didn't really think that I had brain fog, but my decisions were clearer. So clearly I had a lot of brain fog. A lot of the health issues that I had started to diminish. And just to give you this is not about my health issues, but it gives you a snippet of what was going on with me. I had gestational diabetes with all three of my kids. And so in my 30s, I was a full-blown diabetic. I was like literally addicted to sugar. I was always tired, always exhausted. I've had allergies since I was 16 years old. And like literally I've had them for 9 months out of the year. And so my doctor was like, you can either come and take these shots or you can take a Zyrtec. And so literally I was taking 260 some Zyrtecs every year. Yeah. So that's just a snippet of like the health concerns and the health issues. So in Walls Plexus, and I have more energy. I no longer have the allergy symptoms that I had. So I'm no longer spending $30 a month on Zyrtec, right? I am more present with my kids. I'm more nurturing, and I'm more sensitive. And on top of that, I just feel like I'm more capable of being the mom that they need me to be and that I want to be. And so Plexus, hands down, has been a game changer in my entire life. And as far as just surviving motherhood, which is what I felt like I was doing before, in exactly 1 month from today, I will be 50 years old. And I know, you don't even have to tell me, I am thriving at motherhood. And all of the kids, everyone in my household takes the products. And I believe that because they take them, they are thriving in their teens. So that's really, you know, my history, my story. And I don't think that I could be the mom that I am without the products.
Wow. That's a lot, girl. She said 25 years at IBM and she is pushing 50 next month. OMG. Wow. You look amazing, Marquita. And to say that these products have completely changed your health and your family's health is truly an understatement. Y'all, her whole family has an amazing testimony. So thank you for simply sharing yours tonight, Marquita. We love it. Okay. Last testimony, but we'll not be totally done once Kryshonda gets finished. I'll talk to you a little bit about the product combo that's most popular that these ladies are mentioning. But I'm going to let Gold Ambassador and my friend Kryshonda Torres take it away.
Thank you so much, Robin. Oh man, it's hard to follow those amazing stories and those incredible ladies. Surviving, we're thriving, right? We're thriving with Plexus, but what were we doing before Plexus? Man, you sure you want me to tell you? Okay, want to hear it? Here it goes. So I retired from the United States Air Force, but before I retired, let me tell you a day in my life. So as a master sergeant, so an active duty senior non-commissioned officer in the United States Air Force, I used to get up at 4 a.m. and I didn't go back down until midnight. Usually, most days. We used to call it high speed, no drag, because there absolutely is no chill in the military. So I would get up at 4, y'all, get my daughter. I have 2 tiny terrifics. I have a 6-year-old now and a 8-year-old son. But at the time, she was 2 and he was 5. And I had to get her to daycare, right? And drop her off right at 6 o'clock and get my son to school, which was another 20 minutes away from where the daycare was. But in spite of all of that, because I was a senior non-commissioned officer, which meant there's no excuses, there's no failure, I had to make it to work by 8 o'clock every single day to start the commander's meeting on time. So exhausted doesn't even begin to explain how I felt. Like, I had so many jobs, y'all. I had 5 jobs. I was the superintendent. I was the HIPAA. Most of you who are medical know what HIPAA is, the health insurance portability person. I was the marketing person. So on top of all of that, I still had to take care of my family, right? So most days I would beg my boss, right? Because again, I'm in the military, so I can't just be like, oh, I got to go pick up my kids from daycare, sir. Is that okay if I leave? If his meeting wasn't finished at 5:30, I would call my babysitter and be like, hey, could you drop my daughter off here at work? I can't leave right now. And so I would go rush to go get her, rush to go get my son. And then I had an hour commute, y'all. 1 hour from my house, from where I worked to my house. And my husband is Latin, so he still expected dinner to be served right when I got home. So I would come home, fix dinner, take care of the kids, put them to bed. And like Marquita, probably like Dr. Adrienne said, when all of that was done, I would scoot into the back of the couch and just sit there because I was exhausted. And that was my life every day for the last 3 years, in particular, because this was such a high visibility job. And so what happened, I was minding my own business. Y'all know Robin, you know how Robin is. I was minding my own business on Facebook, and I think I liked her post. And so by liking her post, that caused us to get into a conversation because I was a JMT coach, and that's how we connected. And she was like, you know, how she is, she's such a loving person. Hey girl, hey, you know, we need to get on the phone and chat. And so with all the stuff that I was doing, again, working, trying to finish school, taking care of my kids, I was like, okay, this is just one more thing. So when she said, let's chat, I said, okay, she want to talk to me. I'm gonna make her work for this money, honey. So I told her, I said, yes, we can talk. We can talk at 6:30 in the morning, my time, which was 5:30 in the morning, her time, while I was doing my morning commute. And y'all, you already know how Robin is. She set her alarm, she got up and she called me, right? So I was like, oh man, now I gotta have this conversation. So we had the conversation and she sent me a sample. And I was like, well, she even sent me a sample. Okay, the least I can do is try the sample. And I immediately started feeling better, y'all. Like I told you, I used to scoot into the back of the couch because I was exhausted every single Friday and stay there. And my husband would come out, you all right? I'm like, yes, what else you need? You got dinner? Y'all good? Everybody good? Please just let me watch Netflix. Please just let me binge watch. So I started with the pinky drink. And then, you know, as Robin does, coaches you along, started talking to her. And she was like, all right, let's go ahead. You know, your triplex, how are you feeling? And I'm like, I'm feeling much better. As a matter of fact, I think I'm not going to be in the Air Force Hunger Games this round because I think I'm actually going to pass my PT test because, you know, I'm taking these products that you recommended, which was, by the way, the triplex. So that's what I started with. And then I said, okay, well, mommy's getting healthier. Mommy's less angrier. Because again, all the stress, there was no off. It was always on. And being in the military, there is no, oh, I overslept or calling out. If I don't go to work, I go to jail. That's how it was. So what happened after that was, okay, I'm taking my products. You know what? I'm feeling better. All right. Robin used to have these Plexus movie nights. Do you remember that, Robin? Plexus movie nights. Yes. So kind of like our book studies. Marquita, you remember that? Kind of like the book studies. But now, then it was, we had to watch a health movie, a documentary, and then we had to give a report of what we watched and we would discuss it. So she messed around and assigned one called What the Health. Let me just caution you not to watch that one, okay? And Cowspiracy. Because what happened was, as soon as I finished those 2 documentaries, the family, they didn't know it, they didn't have a choice, became instant vegetarians. So that was how we started moving towards a healthier lifestyle. So mommy's taking her Plexus products, she's feeling good. Now she's ordering products for the family. We're moving to a healthier pescatarian lifestyle. My daughter at the time used to have these sneezing fits every single morning when she would wake up, and her face would be covered with mucus. And I couldn't figure out what it was, right? They were giving us Benadryl, telling us, you know, it was allergies. And so as I started down the health and happiness journey, taking my products, reading the materials that Robin was assigning us to do, I was like, oh, it's the milk. The dairy causes mucus problems. Maybe that's why she's sneezing like that. Okay, let's start by eliminating the mucus. Let's add in her kitty vitamin. So Beanie was taking, that's her nickname, the Tiny Terrific. She was taking X Factor Kids, 1 ProBio 5, and BioCleanse. And when she started with the BioCleanse, then her symptoms started to resolve with the sneezing. And, you know, she was feeling better now. So she's 3, happy to take her little vitamins. Like I was even having her make her little videos, right? My son, Angel, Bear, we call him Bear, he had developed warts or something on his hand from playing on the monkey bars. So he was already taking the X Factor Plus, but I was like, well, let me try this ProBio 5. Robin says it has an antifungal in it. I think warts are really more like a virus. So after about 3 days of ProBio 5, his warts that were on his hand went away. So we added that to his routine. Yeah. So look, every day, everything that she recommended, that was the thing I learned. You have to be coachable. I did what she said and it helped my family, right? So now we're no longer just surviving. Mommy's no longer angry. What did mommy take in addition to the triplex? Because I told you I had anger issues, right? I had anger issues, but y'all, I've been in the military for 20 years. When I retired with 20 years, 7 months, and 7 days. And one of the issues I developed as a result of always being on, always operating at that high ops tempo was anxiety and PTSD. And what the military usually likes to do for people who have those kind of symptoms is medicate them. They want to give them antidepressants, and that was not what I was looking for. And so Robin recommended the Vital Biome. And I got to say, I know Plexus does not treat, cure, or prevent, FDA disclaimer, any diseases, but it has absolutely helped me manage my PTSD and anxiety symptoms. I'm not as snappy, I'm not as irritable, and my children get a fully present mother now. So we're thriving now. We're thriving, even though y'all, I feel like a short order cook, right? Because, I swear, y'all need to use your school stomachs. You didn't eat this much in school, but every 10 minutes you in the kitchen talking about you want something to eat, right? Get out. So short order cook, right? Now I'm a homeschooling mama, right? I'm learning how to do that. And since I wasn't trained for that and I didn't go to school for that, the Vital Biome helps me stay level while I'm figuring out, while I'm navigating this new normal that we have. And I got to tell you, Plexus has been a godsend. Not only have we had the triplex, look, my husband now, you can ask Robin, now he thinks he's the Plexus photographer of the year because now he's taking all the pictures, like he took the picture for the background that you saw from me and he feels really good about it. Now he's staging his food, y'all. He's staging his food, putting his active in front of it, taking pictures of it and saying, you need to post this one, you need to post this one. So Plexus has become a family affair for us, and we're just so grateful for everything that it has done, for how it has transformed our health, how it's transformed our lives, and how it's just the community. I mean, look at this community that we have. Who else does book studies? Tell me what job. We didn't even do book studies in the Air Force, y'all, unless it was a professional military education book study. You could not get somebody to pull out a circle maker because then they go file a complaint with EO saying that you were discriminating because you're talking about Jesus. So that's a whole nother conversation. But I say that to say, I have better health as a mom now. I'm a better example for my family because, again, as a mother, we change the thermostat in our house. The temperature can be real warm or it can be real chilly based upon how we are. And we're the children's first teacher. So the image we project to them is what they project to the world. So I'm just grateful that Robin cared enough because remember, y'all, I made her work for it. She had to get up at 5:30 in the morning to talk to me or it wasn't going to happen. And so 3 years later, I am an incredibly grateful gold ambassador. And I'm gonna ride this thing till the wheels fall off. And thank you so much, Robin, for the opportunity to share my story.
Oh, that is so amazing. I just love hearing stories like this. You have no idea how much you ladies have blessed me tonight. She did make me work for it. There were a couple of days that I did not wake up at 5:30 and I had to reschedule because I was like, boo. She didn't understand, like, I don't go to sleep till 2 a.m. So I was like, it was so hard for me to wake up at 5:30, 6:30 your time. So I did work for it, but guess what, guys? She has blessed me so much. I am so, so grateful that you decided to say yes to Plexus, not only because of the benefits that you have brought to your own family, your own personal health, but what you have brought to our team. So thank you so much, Kryshonda. Thank you so much, Marquita and Adrienne, for sharing your amazing testimonies. I just want to end with this, guys. A lot of these ladies were talking about products that their kids take, products that they also take. The primary combination of products that have been most effective for all of us is the triplex. It's the Slim, which is our pink drink. It helps to balance blood sugar. It helps to balance lipid levels. It also helps to balance your triglycerides, which is your fat levels. It also helps to stabilize blood pressure and cholesterol. So if you struggle in any of those areas, or if you have a lot of inflammation going on, our alpha lipoic acid, which is an active ingredient in our Slim, is one of the best natural anti-inflammatories. It really helps to bring the puffiness down. A lot of people like Adrienne, she didn't need to lose weight, but she probably had some inflammation. And so her inflammation has come down, even though she didn't lose pounds, because of this pink drink and our triplex. So finally, our probiotic and our BioCleanse are also the amazing gut health products that these ladies kept mentioning. A lot of our kiddos are on the X Factor Kids. It is a multivitamin and a probiotic combined. So it's really going to help to boost your kids' immune system, especially if you plan to, or if you have to send your kids back to school in the fall. But what a lot of us do is we realize, okay, this is a great first line of defense because it's a multivitamin and a probiotic combined. However, a lot of us give our kids 2 of these chewables, but we also give them 1 or 2 of these ProBio 5. and it's a game changer. I started my kids when they were 3 and 6. They're now 10 and 13. And so there was no kids stuff back then. So I just gave them old school ProBio 5 and BioCleanse and the Mega X. And this hands down helped my daughter to lift a lot of her brain fog. She had a lot of hyperactivity issues in school that helped to really calm her down and focus her. It also really helped to reverse a lot of her asthma issues. She was in ICU for 3 days. With the severe asthma attack. And so asthma is autoimmune. So if you have any of those issues that your kids struggle with as well, when you heal and repair the gut, it tends to take care of all that. Okay. And the BioCleanse absolutely is a game changer, even for our kiddos, but really for us moms, because if you're eating 3 times a day, you really should be eliminating or pooping 3 times a day. And the average American carries between 5 and 25 pounds of toxic waste. So these products are second to none. It's honestly the best time to get started if you are just thinking about Plexus. Get with the person who invited you to this call. It's literally the cheapest possible way you can get started right now. It's a slamming deal. It's way less expensive than when I got started 6.5 years ago. And the company's just so generous because they know that people now more than ever are really focused on getting their bodies healthy from the inside out and improving their immune system just because of what's going on in light of our country in this pandemic right now. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your night. Ladies, thank you so much for sharing your amazing testimonies, and you guys have a good one. Bye, everybody.